Hey everybody, Mike here with another edition of Making Sense of Transformers, a series where I talk about various topics about the Transformers movies that need a little extra analysis and explanation. Mass shifting has always been commonplace in Transformers. It can serve as a way to make animation easier, and sometimes it can even serve the story, allowing a Transformer to have a similar size as their opponent even if their vehicle size is drastically different. For example, Lockdown and Optimus Prime are very similar in robot form in Age of Extinction, even though Optimus is a truck and Lockdown is a Lamborghini. Notably, Optimus even kept his size when changing to a smaller truck as well. So this isn't anything new, but sometimes things can be taken a little too far, like Mirage in Transformers Rise of the Beasts. But is there an in-universe reason for this one? Let's find out. So while I overall liked Rise of the Beasts, one of the things that really bugged me was the mass shifting seen multiple times with Mirage. When he showed off to Noah that he could transform into multiple types of vehicles, they were all basically the same size. No red flags there.
Lambo? Ferrari? Indy?
But then the Autobots needed a way to sneak onto Ellis Island to grab the transwarp key, and Mirage driving in as a Porsche just simply wouldn't work. The solution? Transform into a garbage truck. A garbage truck that was much bigger than a Porsche. And I gotta be honest, when seeing the movie for the first time, this really took me out of it for a second. It didn't make sense at all. As I've mentioned, mass shifting has happened plenty of times in Transformers. I mean, look at Megatron in G1. He transformed into a gun that was the perfect size for another Decepticon to hold in their hands.
Megatron, you've got to transform!
And Soundwave, he was able to transform into a cassette player.
Soundwave, remember when you used to transform into a tape recorder? Well, the 80s called. They want their technology back.
This is easier to accomplish in cartoons because of the extra suspended belief, but even the Michael Bay movies, as well as the Travis Knight film Bumblebee, were pretty good at hiding this whenever it needed to be done. The Transformers were absolutely massive in the Bay films, and honestly, they probably shouldn't have been that tall compared to the size of the cars they transformed into. But the transformations happened in a way that didn't make you think twice about it. In the first film, Frenzy turned into a tiny phone, but with his slim size, compacting himself down made enough sense. And with Lockdown, sure, if you think about it, he shouldn't be the same height as Optimus, but they compensate by making him a bit thinner. But look at Mirage in Rise of the Beasts. If he can transform into this garbage truck, you'd think he'd at least be similar in size to Optimus Prime. And since we've already seen him change into multiple cars, how in the world did he gain so much mass for this alt mode? Well, he didn't. You see, the entirety of that garbage truck is not actually there. Most of it is a mirage. Realistic holograms are definitely not new to the live-action Transformers movies. They were heavily established as a capability that many Transformers seem to have. One example being Optimus Prime creating a hologram to show Sam and Michaela about the reign of Megatron on Cybertron. Barricade, Blackout, RC, Elita 1, and Chromia also used holograms to make it seem like they had human drivers and pilots. And then of course, earlier in Transformers Rise of the Beasts, we saw Mirage perfectly create 4 other versions of himself on the bridge that even included Noah inside. Later in the movie, we also see that he can even create multiple robot versions of himself, like when he was going toe-to-toe with Scourge during the final battle. So, in this case, we can pretty much come to the conclusion that there isn't actually mass shifting happening here. As further proof to this theory, let's take a look at a post from the user CyberGraptor on the Transformers forum TFW 2005. According to his post, he was part of a test audience group that got to see an unfinished version of the film in 2022, 1 year before release. And if you're questioning if this information is true, multiple points of changes he posted about were confirmed months later when some deleted scenes were released. Among the changes from the early 2022 cut compared to the theatrical cut was, sure enough, showing that Mirage was actually projecting a hologram. Cybergrafter posted, "When Mirage turns into a garbage truck, they made it more clear the back half was a hologram." Now, remember in the Michael Bay movies when the hologram drivers sort of glitched out to show the viewer that those weren't real people, they were just projections? Well, I'm assuming that's exactly what happened with Mirage. But why was it cut? Well, I'm honestly not quite too sure about that one. Now, that wasn't the only obvious mass shifting from Mirage in the movie, however. The second instance comes when he sacrifices himself to protect Noah, and he becomes a small mech suit that is literally human-sized. That's a lot of shrinking down. But this one also seems to have a simple explanation as well, even if it does sort of unfortunately come with a continuity error. When Mirage is forming into the suit, we can see that Noah is almost completely suited up, while there are still plenty of large pieces of Mirage next to him on the bridge. Then, in the next shot, they just disappear. I genuinely think the rest of Mirage's body was meant to be left there on the bridge, and the CGI artists either forgot to leave it there or just intentionally made the rest disappear, thinking no one would notice.
Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
Plus, in the end credits scene, we can see that Noah is using extra car parts with help from his friend Reek to repair Mirage, meaning he didn't have the rest of his original body to complete the repairs.
I think all the blood, sweat, and dead presidents I put into getting these car parts for you make us even Steven.
So, what's my conclusion? There's actually no mass shifting from Mirage in Transformers Rise of the Beasts, meaning there's a bit more to these scenes than what meets the eye. I hope you all enjoyed this latest edition of Making Sense of Transformers. Make sure to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe for more. And if you enjoyed this, I have plenty more Making Sense of Transformers videos for you. Make sure to check out the playlist in the description below. Also, if you have a topic that you'd like to see me try and tackle, make sure to leave a comment in the comment section. Until next time, I'm Mike. See ya.